Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Asking Permission. Volume 8, Book 74, number 246316. Volume 8, Book 74, number 246. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, Allah created Adam in his complete shape and form, directly, 60 cubits, about 30 meters, in height. When he created him, he said to him, "Go and greet that group of angels sitting there, and listen what they will say in reply to you, for that will be your greeting and the greeting of your offspring." Adam went and said, "Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you." They replied, "Assalamu alayka wa rahmatullah, peace and Allah's mercy be on you." So they increased, wa rahmatullah. The Prophet added, "So whoever will enter paradise will be of the shape and form of Adam." Since then the creation of Adam's offspring, i.e. stature of human beings, is being diminished continuously, to the present time. Volume 8, Book 74, number 247. Narrated by Abdullah bin Abbas. Al-Fadl bin Abbas rode behind the Prophet as his companion rider on the back portion of his she-camel on the day of Nahr, slaughtering of sacrifice, 10th Dhul Hijjah, and Al-Fadl was a handsome man. The Prophet stopped to give the people verdicts. In the meantime, a beautiful woman from the tribe of Qatham came, asking the verdict of Allah's apostle. Al-Fadl started looking at her as her beauty attracted him. The Prophet looked behind while Al-Fadl was looking at her. So the Prophet held out his hand backwards and caught the chin of Al-Fadl and turned his face to the owner's sides in order that he should not gaze at her. She said, "O Allah's apostle, the obligation of performing Hajj enjoined by Allah on his worshippers has become compulsory, on my father who is an old man and who cannot sit firmly on the riding animal. Will it be sufficient that I perform Hajj on his behalf?" He said, "Yes." Volume 8, Book 74, number 248. Narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. The Prophet said, "Beware. Avoid sitting on the roads." They, the people, said, "O Allah's apostle, we can't help sitting on the roads, as these are our places. Here we have talks." The Prophet said, "If you refuse but to sit, then pay the road its right." They said, "What is the right of the road, O Allah's apostle?" He said, "Lowering your gaze, refraining from harming others, returning greeting, and enjoining what is good, and forbidding what is evil." Volume 8, Book 74, number 249. Narrated by Abdullah. When we prayed with the Prophet we used to say, "As salam be on Allah from his worshippers, as salam be on Gabriel, as salam be on Michael, as salam be on so and so." When the Prophet finished his prayer, he faced us and said, "Allah himself is as salam, peace, so when one sits in the prayer, one should say, At-tahiyyatu lillahi wa salawatu, wa tayyibatu, as salamu, alayka ayuhan nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, as salamu, alayna wa ayla, abadallahi aslihan," for if he says so, then it will be for all the pious slave of Allah in the heavens and the earth. Then he should say, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan, abduhu wa rasuluhu," and then he can choose whatever speech, i.e. invocation, he wishes. See Hadith number 797, Volume 1. Volume 8, Book 74, number 250. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, "The young should greet the old, the passer-by should greet the sitting one, and the small group of persons should greet the large group of persons." Volume 8, Book 74, number 251. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's Apostle said, "The riding one should greet the walking one, and the walking one should greet the sitting one, and the small number of persons should greet the large number of persons." Volume 8, Book 74, number 252. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's Apostle said, "The riding person should greet the walking one, and the walking one should greet the sitting one, and the small number of persons should greet the large number of persons." Volume 8, Book 74, number 252. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's Apostle said, "The younger person should greet the older one, and the walking person should greet the sitting one, and the small number of persons should greet the large number of persons." Volume 8, Book 74, number 253. Narrated by Al-Bara bin Azib. Allah's Apostle ordered us to do 7 things: to visit the sick, to follow the funeral processions, to say tashmit to a sneezer, to help the weak, to help the oppressed ones, to propagate as salam, greeting, and to help others to fulfill their oaths, if it is not sinful. He forbade us to drink from silver utensils, to wear gold rings, to ride on silken saddles, to wear silk clothes, dibai, thick silk cloth, kasi and istabrak, 2 kinds of silk. See Hadith number 539, Volume 7. Volume 8, Book 74, number 253. Narrated by Abdullah bin Amr. A man asked the Prophet, "What Islamic traits are the best?" The Prophet said, "Feed the people, and greet those whom you know and those whom you do not know." Volume 8, Book 74, number 254. Narrated by Abu Ayyub. The Prophet said, "It is not lawful for a Muslim to desert, not to speak to, his brother Muslim for more than 3 days while meeting. One turns his face to one side and the other turns his face to the other side. Lo, the better of the two is the one who starts greeting the other." Volume 8, Book 74, number 255. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. That he was a boy of 10 at the time when the Prophet emigrated to Medina. He added, "I served Allah's Apostle for 10 years, the last part of his lifetime, and I know more than the people about the occasion whereupon the order of Al-Hijab was revealed to the Prophet." Ubay bin Kabi used to ask me about it. It was revealed, for the first time, during the marriage of Allah's Apostle with Zainab bint Jahsh. In the morning, the Prophet was a bridegroom of her and he invited the people, who took their meals and went away, but a group of them remained with Allah's Apostle and they prolonged their stay. Allah's Apostle got up and went out, and I too went out along with him till he came to the lintel of Aisha's dwelling place. Allah's Apostle thought that those people had left by then, so he returned, and I too returned with him till he entered upon Zainab and found that they were still sitting there and had not yet gone. The Prophet went out again, and so did I with him till he reached the lintel of Aisha's dwelling place, and then he thought that those people must have left by then, so he returned, and so did I with him, and found those people had gone. At that time the divine verse of Al-Hijab was revealed, and the Prophet set a screen between me and him, his family.
حي